long before mortals built temples in her honor, before philosophers sought wisdom beneath her gaze, before heroes prayed for her guidance on distant battlefields, there was a question Athena could not answer. And that question terrified her. For thousands of years, the goddess of wisdom had known every strategy, every prophecy, every secret worth knowing. Kings rose and fell beneath her watchful eyes. Empires were born from ideas she inspired. Even the gods respected the sharpness of her mind. Yet somewhere deep within the oldest corners of Olympus, there existed an emptiness, a gap, a missing piece. And one night, while studying ancient stars that had not moved since the dawn of creation, Athena discovered something impossible. A memory was missing, not from a mortal mind, from her own. And as she searched the heavens for answers, she began uncovering evidence of a truth so dangerous that even the gods had chosen to erase it from existence. It began with a dream. Athena rarely dreamed. Unlike mortals, gods did not drift through sleep in search of forgotten thoughts. Yet one silent night, she found herself standing within an endless hall lined with towering marble statues. There were hundreds of them, perhaps thousands. Each depicted gods, titans, heroes, and creatures from every age of myth. But at the center of the hall stood one final pedestal. Empty. Athena approached it slowly. The silence around it felt different, heavier somehow, as though the entire hall was holding its breath. Unlike the countless statues surrounding it, this place seemed untouched by memory itself. Upon its base were carved 3 words, the one forgotten. Then she awoke. The dream lingered like a shadow. Days passed, yet Athena could not stop thinking about the empty pedestal. The image returned to her again and again, as though some forgotten part of history was trying to be remembered. At first she dismissed it as meaningless. But strange things soon began happening across the world. Ancient scrolls contained missing passages. Temple inscriptions ended abruptly in the middle of sentences. Statues appeared with their faces deliberately removed. Every discovery pointed toward the same impossible conclusion. Something had been erased from history. Not hidden, erased. Athena descended into forgotten libraries beneath ancient cities. Deep below the streets of the living world, endless shelves stretched into darkness, crowded with scrolls untouched for centuries. Dust drifted through silent chambers where ancient knowledge slept undisturbed, waiting for someone wise enough to seek it. She crossed deserts where ruined temples lay buried beneath centuries of sand. Endless dunes stretched toward the horizon, hiding the remnants of forgotten civilizations beneath their shifting waves. Winds whispered through broken columns and shattered sanctuaries, as though the past itself was struggling to be heard. She traveled farther than any Olympian had ventured in ages. And everywhere she found the same pattern. Missing names, broken carvings, destroyed records, the traces of a presence that should have existed. Yet no one remembered it. Not mortals, not titans, not even the gods. One evening, Athena entered a ruined sanctuary older than Olympus itself. Its walls had survived from a time when the world was young. There, illuminated by fading torchlight, she discovered a mural. The painting depicted the Olympians gathered together. Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Apollo, Artemis, and Athena herself. But beside them stood another figure, a divine figure. Its outline remained visible. Its face had been destroyed, its name scratched away, its existence removed. Athena stared at the mural in silence. Then she noticed something that chilled her. The damage was not random. The destruction carried the unmistakable mark of divine power. A god had erased this figure, and only the Olympians possessed magic capable of altering history on such a scale. That night, Athena returned to Olympus. She confronted Zeus. The king of the gods listened quietly while thunder rolled across distant clouds. When she finished speaking, he said only one sentence: "Leave the past buried." Athena had never heard fear in Zeus's voice before. Now she heard it clearly, and that frightened her more than any answer could. The following night, she descended into the deepest archives beneath Olympus. Hidden there were records sealed since the beginning of divine rule. Most gods did not even know the chamber existed. Athena alone possessed the key, or so she believed. Yet when she reached the final vault, she found its doors already open. Inside stood a single object, a black crystal unlike anything she had ever seen. Within its surface floated fragments of images, broken memories, lost moments, forgotten faces. Athena reached toward it. The instant her fingers touched the crystal, memories exploded through her mind. She saw the birth of Olympus, the rise of the gods, the shaping of fate itself. And standing among them all was another divine being, a being older than kingdoms, older than prophecy, older even than wisdom. Its name echoed through the visions, a name Athena had not heard in thousands of years, because she herself had erased it. Athena staggered backward. The truth struck her like a spear. She had not forgotten by accident. She had chosen to forget. Long ago, before Olympus ruled the cosmos, there existed a divine entity known as Athena, the keeper of absolute truth. Unlike Athena, who governed wisdom, Athena possessed a far more dangerous power. It revealed every truth, every hidden motive, every buried secret, every lie. Nothing could remain concealed before it. Not among mortals, not among gods, not even within the heart of destiny itself. At first, the gods welcomed this power, but over time they realized something terrible. Civilizations require mysteries. Relationships require trust. Hope requires uncertainty. Even wisdom requires questions. If every truth were exposed instantly, the world would unravel. Prophecies would lose meaning. Choices would become meaningless. The future would become a prison of certainty. And so the gods made a decision, the most terrible decision in divine history. They would erase Athena, not destroy it, not imprison it, erase it from temples, from memory, from history, from existence itself. Athena had led the ritual, because only the goddess of wisdom possessed the knowledge required to accomplish such a task. Yet before completing the ritual, she had placed one final safeguard within the black crystal, a record of the truth, in case the day ever came when the world needed to remember. And now that day had arrived. For while Athena stood within the vault, the crystal began to crack. Across the world, forgotten memories stirred. Broken statues trembled. Ancient carvings revealed hidden symbols. Dreams carried fragments of lost knowledge. The erased truth was returning. Athena faced the greatest choice of her existence. She could complete the erasure once more, or she could allow the forgotten truth to awaken. The crystal shattered. A brilliant light flooded the chamber, and for a brief moment, every hidden thing in creation became visible. The gods saw their fears. Kings saw their lies. Mortals saw the masks they wore. The universe itself seemed to stand naked before reality. Then silence fell. When the light faded, Athena stood alone. The truth had returned, but not completely. Only enough to remind the world that some secrets had once existed. Enough to ensure that forgetting would never be perfect again. Centuries passed. Empires crumbled into dust. Temples became ruins. Languages vanished. Yet strange stories survived. Travelers spoke of forgotten statues whose faces seemed familiar despite never being seen before. Scholars discovered inscriptions referring to names that no longer existed. Ancient tablets and weathered stones carried fragments of words that appeared familiar, yet belonged to no known history. The deeper they searched, the more they sensed the presence of something that had once been remembered by the world, and then deliberately forgotten. And occasionally, in the quietest moments before dawn, people felt a strange certainty that they had forgotten something important, something ancient, something waiting just beyond memory. Perhaps they were imagining it, or perhaps fragments of the erased truth still drift through the world, searching, remembering, refusing to disappear completely. For some truths are too powerful to die, and some memories endure even after the universe itself tries to forget them. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Not what humanity remembers, but what humanity has forgotten. Because somewhere within the shadows of every legend, beneath every ruined temple, hidden behind every unanswered question, there may still linger fragments of truths waiting to be found. So if this journey through forgotten mythology awakened your curiosity, leave your mark upon this story. Let your thoughts join the conversation below. Share this tale with fellow seekers of ancient mysteries. And subscribe to continue exploring the hidden corners of myth where lost gods, buried secrets, and impossible legends still whisper through the darkness. Because history records what happened, mythology remembers what was feared, and sometimes the most dangerous story is the one the world was never supposed to remember.